Shalom, shalom. In today's video, I will be revealing the tree of good and evil. So, to begin with, we are going to find the section relevant to the Revelation in Book 1 of the Zohar, which I have here. And we're going to find the concealed passage in a section called the 2 points. So it says Bereshit. Rabbi Chaya opened the discussion with the verse, "The fear of Hashem is the beginning of wisdom. Good understanding have all they who do his commandments. His praise endures forever." Tehillim 111:10. Of the phrase, "the beginning of wisdom," he asks, should this verse have read, "The fear of Hashem is the end of wisdom"? Because the fear of Hashem is the secret of Malkuth, which is at the end of Chokmah. And he replies, she, Malkuth, is the beginning, or the first stage that opens the entrance to the level of the supernal Chokmah or wisdom. So it is written, "Open to me the gates of righteousness," referring to the gates of Malkuth that are called righteousness. This is the gate to Hashem. Assuredly, if he does not enter this gate, he shall never reach the supernal king, because he is exalted, hidden, and concealed, and has made gates for himself, one behind the other. At the end of all those gates, he set up a gate with many locks, many openings, and many chambers, one on top of the other. He said, "Whoever wants to reach me must first pass through this gate. Whoever enters through this gate may enter." The same applies here, as the first gate to supernal wisdom is the fear of Hashem, which is Malkuth. This is why it is called the beginning. The letter Bet in the word Bereshit indicates 2 points that are joined together in Malkuth. And of these 2 points, one is concealed and treasured, and the other is revealed and out in the open. But because they are not separated, they are called the beginning, Rashit, which means only one and not two. Whoever takes one takes the other as well. And all is one, because he and his name are one. As it is written, that men may know that you alone, whose name is Hashem. Tehillim 83:19. Why is Malkuth called the fear of Hashem? Because the Malkuth is the tree of good and evil. Keep this in mind as we continue. If a person is deserving, then it is good. But if he is not deserving, then it is bad. This is why fear abides in that place. And she is the gate through which all goodness of the world passes, because good understanding is related to those 2 gates, namely to those 2 points, which are as one. Rabbi Yossi said, good understanding refers to the tree of life, which is good understanding. It has no evil at all, and because no evil prevails there, it is good understanding with no bad. All they who do his commandments, Tehillim 111:10. These are the sure loving promises of David, Yeshayahu 55:3, the supporters of the Torah. And those who support the Torah are those who seemingly make it. So all those who occupy themselves with the Torah need not work, as they delve into its study, while those who support it have to work. And because of this, the verse, "His praise endures forever," Tehillim 111:10, is fulfilled, and the throne is properly established. So, before I give the revelation of this, I'm first going to address something. We're going to find in the passage in Genesis, "And the tree of life was in the midst of the garden." This is important because this implies it's in the middle of the garden. And Gan is the name of garden, which is Gimel Nun. Keep this in mind as we continue. It says, "And the tree of the knowledge of good and evil." It does not specify that the tree of the knowledge of good and evil is particularly in the middle of the garden, but it does say that the tree of life is in the midst of the garden. So, resorting back to the diagram that I demonstrated in the beginning of the video, there are 11 Sephiroth, they have backs and fronts, and there are 22 letters. Using the 231 gates to discern our system, Aleph will be Kether, Beit is Chokmah, Gimel is Bina. Dalet is Da'ath, Hey is Chesed, Vav is Gevura, Zain is Tifreth, Chet is Netzach, Tet is Hod, Yod is Yisad, and Kaf is Malkuth. Lamed is Kether, Mem is the backside of Hokmah, Nun is the backside of Bina, Samek is the backside of Da'ath, Ayin is the backside of Chesed, Fe is the backside of Gevurah, Sadi is the backside of Tifreth, Akof is the backside of Netzach, Resh is the backside of Hod, Shin is the backside of Yisad, and Tav is the backside of Malkuth. For those who are wondering where the source of this information is coming from, you can find in Sefer Omek HaMalek, which is a composition of the Arizal's teaching by his disciples. You will find here, it is as I've stated. Here's the partsuf of Aleph, and indeed Aleph is the face of Ketzer, and so on and so forth. Likewise, Beit is Hokmah, and Gimel is Bina. Now, returning to the mystery at hand, we saw that the word Gan was the name of the garden. Gan is Gimel Nun. This is the back side and the front side of Bina. Mainly Nun's the back and Gimel is the front. Now we know that Kether, Hokmah, and Bina are together. Kether, Hokmah, and Bina are together. And so the mystery here is the link between Kaf and Lamed, mainly Malkuth, which is called one point, which is in the Kether of the backside, meaning that this entire tree is in this one Sephiroth, which is the mystery of the tree of the face, of the tree of the body. And it looks like this. With this understanding, you can understand that this entire tree was concealed in the point. And here is the other point, mainly the point called good and the point called evil. And so therefore, it was called the tree of good and the tree of evil. Of this, it is said that they ate from the tree and their eyes were opened. Well, the word eyes here is plural, and the Zohar teaches that any instance of the word eyes in a plural and not a singular, as in ayin, references 7, and it refers to these 7 Sephiroth that are below as Kether, Hokmah, Bina, and the concealed point of Malkuth that is in the midst of that, which is the tree of life. Now, as we learned, Gan is the back and front of Bina, and they are enveloped. And so we've learned that the tree of life, which is good, understanding, is in the midst of this tree. And so the mystery has now been revealed regarding the 2 points, mainly that this entire tree is concealed in this one sphere, and it is called a point. And the back side of the tree, called Sitra Akra, because the word Akra means back side, is the remaining of the tree. And there are 7 Sephiroth that are left over in the mystery of their eyes being opened. With this having been established, I will reveal one more level to this. Again, the fronts are called the tree of life, and that is called good understanding. And the backside is called tree of good and evil. Why is it called good and evil? Because good presides at its point, and the backside is Akra, which is where the evil domain lays. Very much similar to how we can view this linking here. Now, although this is a diagram with images, these images are conveyed only for the sake of conceptually understanding in a very basic manner this very complex system. With that being said, I will return here and read 123 again. Why is Malkuth called the fear of Hashem, which we learned is the beginning of wisdom? Mainly that the linking between Malkuth and Kether, Hokmah, and Bina are linked together. Therefore, Kether, Hokmah, and Bina, and the point of Malkuth in the midst of it. Because Malkuth is the tree of good and evil, because Malkuth to Malkuth, mainly the Malkuth that's at the top point here, which is called a point, and Malkuth on the backside, which is here. If a person is deserving, then it is good. If he is not deserving, then it is bad. This is why fear abides in that place. And she is the gate through which all goodness of the world passes, because good understanding is related to those two gates, namely to those 2 points, which are as one. And all is one, because his name is one. With this being said, the revelation of the tree of good and evil has been revealed. Shalom, Selah.